Hello everyone and welcome back to the 2021 Osu Catch World Cup. I am Dolan, joined by Elux for this winner's bracket quarterfinal match between South Korea and Chile. How's it going, Elux?
It's going good, and what a matchup we have here. South Korea vs. Chile. Both teams known for making it really far in CWCs in the past, and Chile had a little bit of a scare last week, Germany being up 2-0, but they found their footing and got right back up into it, winning that matchup 6-0. And South Korea, we all know South Korea, the powerhouse. No surprise last week, winning against Australia 6-0. I'm expecting a close matchup this go around.
Yeah, on a quarterfinals level map pool, and we have two of the three countries that have ever won a Catch World Cup in the match, so it should be interesting. However, Chile missing Line QTXC this year, but Chile has performed stellar this year. They have a lot of depth in their pool of players, and they've really shown it this year with that big win in the groups. If they could topple the mighty South Korea, would be their biggest accomplishment yet.
We've seen what happened earlier, though, with Hong Kong versus China, and nobody was expecting that, so we could see another upset.
So South Korea wins the roll, Chile banning first. And it will be Hard Rock 3 getting the boot. Blood Code.
Unfortunately, we're not going to see any skateboarding tricks from either of these teams tonight.
We will have to wait for another match.
And next it will be South Korea's ban, followed by their pick.
Hidden 3.
2 convert bans. Okay.
I am a fan personally.
Let's be honest, you're a fan of almost every hidden map, Dolan.
Almost. Keyword there is almost. So South Korea will open up the picks. And they have a relatively wide pool here.
Oh yeah, South Korea being South Korea, they can just about handle anything, though.
Nomad
Chile.
2 picking the Rockma map in the pool. Are we surprised? There's actually 2 Rockma maps in the pool.
To be honest, I'm surprised that they're going with the Nomad Rockma map. I figured that they would take the double time Rockma map first.
Yeah, well, Chile have historically always been decent at double time, and again, we're only at quarterfinals here, so perhaps they want to go with something less risky and more safe, given that their opponent is Chile. But it will be Nomad 2. We do see Eldenel, Mogu Mogu, and City Pop Shark in for Chile. Rels, QWH, and Hyper in on the side of South Korea.
And with a matchup like this, wouldn't be surprised if we see 6-4, if not a tiebreaker, as both teams are really strong and have a lot of mod coverage.
Yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see how Chile stacks up to this South Korean roster. With this new Chilean roster, the absence of a line, we see just a lot of new faces, and we've seen that all across the teams this year. We've seen a lot of new players. But I think on paper, South Korea definitely still has to be the favorite.
Yeah,
yes, we are live.
But with a player like Hyper W, it's no surprise that they're favorites, as really just all around their players are just absolute beasts when it comes to not only tournament play, but regular play as well.
Well, and also they scale to like grand finals. Do you know how many teams can actually scale to a grand finals level pool? Not many. And the fact that South Korea can just is a testament to the insane amount of skill they have in their pool of players. And alright, looks like Tiger Eyes ready to force the issue here. Already a warning being issued from the referee, and we haven't even started.
A warning for both teams at that.
So here we go, quarterfinals. South Korea and Chile. It's crazy to think that both China and one of these teams is going to be in the losers bracket after quarterfinals is all said and done. But it has been a wild year for the Catch World Cup. And once City Pop Shark loads in,
waiting for the client to catch up, seeing City Pop Shark doing a little solo performance while we wait.
And here we go, underway in this winner's bracket quarterfinal. Winner of this will meet the winner of Russia and Philippines.
And this is a matchup where I believe that all points will just be decided by 1 or 2 misses, if that. We see all players easily getting up to 200 combo, but Hyper W being the first one to drop.
Yeah, that's actually pretty unfortunate for South Korea. Mogu is going to trade it back, but right as we get to 200. So that miss is actually going to help South Korea even the scoreline here, assuming everyone holds combo. As Hyper now recovering to 200. We're already almost at the halfway point, so those misses are going to be pretty huge. And look at that. It's again that accuracy advantage.
Looking back
Spinners.
and forth into the spinner, and South Korea has the edge.
They took it quite heftily there. Mogu Mogu does go down. Freya QWH showing no signs of dropping. Eldenal doing everything he can. But the score bar now flying to the left.
Yeah.
Last quarter.
Mogu Mogu getting up to 200 combo. Chile's gonna need a couple drops. South Korea, but Freya drops. Eldenal and Mogu Mogu drop.
And that is pretty much going to seal Chile's fate here as Eldenal does drop once again. South Korea will take their opening pick. And that's still going to be 2.9 million points. It will be 3 million. And that is 1-0 South Korea.
Yeah,
Chile now will have to respond.
Yeah, I see Eldenal holding strong throughout up till the ending of that map. Perhaps it was just nerves after that first drop, but Chile's on the board to pick now, and they're in control of where this match will go.
A nice SS coming out of QWH, and it will be double time 3 from Chile. So DT convert. And this could be massive if Chile can take a point in double time. Got to have quite a bit of confidence in it to choose it as their opening pick against South Korea.
Rose, Abstract, Draystar coming in for South Korea. Mogu Mogu, Eldenal, and City Pop Shark still on the side for Chile. Does not appear that they plan on swapping out the roster just yet.
Near full team swap there for South Korea. And that's actually pretty good for Chile. That's something you want to see as a team when you make your picks. You see the other team having to substitute multiple players. Especially if the other team's been riding a wave of momentum. But Draystar will tack on hidden. No surprise there. It is time for double time.
And even with double time, this length is still over 2.5 minutes long. Still a bit longer than some of the non-double time maps that we have in this map pool.
Yeah, Chile could be looking to test Korea's consistency early on here, but an early drop from City Pop Shark. It's not going to be too punishing considering it's very early. But it will give South Korea a small lead for now.
All other players getting up to 200 combo with relative ease, but Draystar is going to drop as soon as he gets there.
Yeah, and that is now going to put the advantage in Chile's hands because of the timing of that miss. Draystar's after 200 combo. City Pop Shark at 200 combo now. Chile in the driver's seat for now. It's still very close.
Draystar getting back to 200 combo, stopping the bleeding for South Korea. Looking about 20,000 is
Rels goes down.
And that is huge for Chile as we're approaching halfway through the map.
Yeah, that's exactly where you don't want to have a miss is halfway through. A drop from Rels is going to give Chile some breathing room now as we enter the second half of the map.
And especially in this slower section compared to previous sections that we saw. Time's taken away on that map as Rose is just now getting back up to 200 combo.
Now the question will be, can Chile maintain the advantage? So far, this looks like an excellent pick from them. City Pop Shark has not missed since his very early miss.
Abstract holding on to a full combo and a double S for their team, Eldonel and Mogu Mogu. But Eldonel is going to drop, and it's Mogu Mogu with the lone full combo on the side for Chile now.
And now Korea, the score bar is going to get really close as we are getting into the business end of the map. Eldonel needs to get the 200 combo to stop that bleeding. Korea are looking to flip this right now, and they've got the combos to do it. But Eldonel is just going to get up to 200 combo to deny them at the very ending of the map. Last section's coming up. And Mogu goes down. That is brutal.
At the end.
Oh, this is painful for Chile. South Korea slug out a insanely valuable breakpoint here. Abstract with the SS. Massive performance from him. Chile just could not hold on. And you have to wonder if that is going to affect things later on.
And we see all players but Abstract just with that one drop. Said it before earlier in the match, that one drop could mean the difference between taking a point and losing a point, and we saw it right there at the end as Mogu Mogu, the one you did not expect to drop on the side of Chile, just the unfortunate miss at the end.
Well, that's what it means to play against the defending world champions. I mean, they only provided about 2 or 3 misses from 2 of their players the entirety of that map. And it came down to the timing of the misses. So South Korea now going to eye up the map pool. They have a breakpoint win on double time. You have to wonder if DT1 is in their sights.
Seeing as how Chile played with that DT3 pick, I mean, any double time map will be risky on either side, in my opinion. They did play it relatively safe at first with that No Mod 2, but they're going to go with Hard Rock 1, Absolute Castaway.
So they're going to shake things up a bit here, dipping their toes into Hard Rock. And not just any Hard Rock, 4-minute long Hard Rock.
Chile wanted to test South Korea's consistency with one of the longer double time picks. South Korea wants to test Chile's consistency with a long Hard Rock pick. Now, this is a map that no player should be a stranger to.
Quite a popular map. There's a big reaction to it being revealed in the pool. And there's the start command, and we are going to get underway in this third round. South Korea will send in QWH, Berea, and Hyper. Chile send in Eldonel, Pecaret, and City Pop Shark.
No player opting to go with Hidden this time around, just sticking with the base Hard Rock modifier. And with it being a little over 4 minutes in length, a miss or two in the beginning does not mean the end of the world, as we see Hyper W dropping there. It is a more marathon and lengthy pick. It is a jog, not a sprint.
It's the early miss strat.
Get the misses out of the way early on.
Now Hyper won't miss for the rest of the map.
I'm keeping your word to that as we see all other players getting up to 200 combo. Hyper W right there behind them.
Yeah, so only a very small lead for Chile, as you mentioned, though. It's a very early miss on a very long map. It's not going to affect too much in the end, especially if we get one later. But that miss from Berea is going to put Korea even further behind on their own pick here.
And that is going to shake things up a little bit, as that miss was when all three players on the side of Chile were above 200 combo.
Yeah, they still have trip FCs on the side of Chile, so they are punishing all of these misses from South Korea. UWH holding the full combo, the lone full combo for South Korea.
Berea up to 200 combo, stopping the bleeding, looking about roughly a 30 to 40,000 score difference, give or take.
Yeah, it's about 35k at the moment. Pretty good place to be if you're Chile, but they had the lead the last pick, and we saw how things turned out in the end. So, but right now they're doing a great job still. 3 FCs. South Korea literally just, they can't do anything unless we see a miss. And there's a miss from Pekarat.
However, I don't believe that is going to pull Chile out of the lead just yet, as South Korea did miss 2 times.
Yeah, but one of those misses was very early, so the scorebar should get very close here, but it should be a very small lead for Chile. Unless we see some more misses here. Coming into the final third, there are no SSs on the side of Chile. QWH is the lone SS. Wow, nobody gets caught out there. Into the Ki. And it's still advantage Chile into the final third. Roughly 30k now. Only a quarter of the map left. As long as Chile can make it through these final sections.
And a miss from either side right now will swing things drastically as we're approaching the end point.
This would be a huge break point for Chile in this match. They really need to get some momentum going. And it would be massive to get a break point.
But Eldonell's gonna drop.
Will Korea trade one, or will they steal another one at the end? Now Chile at the mercy of South Korea. Into the end, Korea holding the advantage. And Berea goes down at the very end. Wait. Is it enough? Eldonell trying to get up to 200. Eldonell's nearing 200. Chile's got the lead back. Wait.
And they're gonna take this break point.
Almost Chile. 2-1.
Little scare there at the end. Thought we were about to witness a repeat of what happened last pick, but the drops by Berea at the end just propelled Chile's score just enough to take the break point.
Those are 2 3.3 million scores on this map, by the way. An SS coming out of QWHJ bleh. I cannot speak. But Chile with a massive break point. Now they have a shot to tie it up here.
And will Chile go back to try and test out double time against South Korea again, or will they go a different route? They won a Hard Rock pick, lost a Nomad.
Hidden is also kind of very weird with these two teams because these two teams are both very good at Hidden. I think South Korea kind of owns that department slightly more than Chile. And Chile will go with Nomad 3, so the Giga Chad map reunion.
And we've seen number of players so far just getting caught out of place with those weird, wacky sliders in this map. Those sections could be the difference maker.
So some substitutions coming in for both sides. Abstract stepping in for Korea, and we see Watame Goose on the side of Chile.
And we go from having a more consistency pick into a map that is less than 2 minutes in length.
Yeah, these teams picked all the long maps at the start of the match. So now the misses are going to be punished a lot harder.
Ooh, and it's Draystar.
Draystar. Always hyped to see Draystar. But yeah, as you said, you mentioned earlier, the sliders in this map are absolutely brutal.
Oh yeah, and if you get out of, in my opinion, if player gets themselves out of place on one of those sliders, it's not just going to be one miss, but a couple.
Yeah, that's the danger here. And it's also such a short map too, so... Again, it's so interesting to me that Chile's picking this into South Korea. But here we go. Pekarat, very early miss. So advantage South Korea as everyone works their way up to that magical 200 combo mark.
Dropping though.
And things are not looking too good for Chile at the start of this one. Two very early misses.
And there's the sliders as we hit a quarter of the way through. Pekarat, Hyper W, dropping.
Still two FCs remaining for South Korea, though. Abstract and Draystar SSing.
Approaching the halfway point.
And Chile are down pretty bad right now. They're going to need a lot of help from South Korea. They're going to need at least two misses to get back into this. And they're going to need the misses to happen soon. We're already past the halfway point.
And Abstract, there's one miss.
Yeah, there is one. Oh, there's another from Abstract. He's really struggling here. And that's going to allow Chile back in it. Chile have the combos. Hyper is also down. That's a double miss. Draystar's the only one. Pekarat trades it back. Still advantage Chile. It's very close. Pekarat goes down again. Flips it back over to South Korea.
Draystar drops.
And now advantage Chile. Everyone from South Korea missed. Abstract's the only one to 200 combo. And Chile have Eldenel and Watame Goose, who have come alive in the second half of the match.
Dropping though, that's going to be huge.
Wait, Pekarat trades it. Unbelievable.
Another South drop Korea. At the end.
South Korea have stolen it with that drop from Pekarat. This match.
Another drop at the end on the side of Chile cost them another point.
Literally every map, aside from the opening pick, has been decided near the very end every single time. And that is a third breakpoint in a row.
Watame Goose, lone full combo on the board, just not enough for Chile though.
I mean, these two teams are absolutely bringing it, but it's 3-1 South Korea. They have the pick. And now, once again, Chile are in a tough situation.
And it may be 3-1, but South Korea has been getting a bit lucky with those misses at the end by Chile. Otherwise, we'd be looking at a completely different scoreline right now.
Yeah, this match could have very well easily have been 3-1 Chile if just a few misses don't happen. So, all things considered, it's been an incredibly close game. But if Korea are able to convert their next pick here, they're going to be in a really comfortable spot.
And you gotta wonder what they're gonna go with.
It will be Nomad 4. So the Nomad tour continues.
And that leaves only Tsubaki as the last convert yet to be either chosen or banned on the board.
So roster changes coming in. On both sides, QWH checking back in for South Korea. Eldenel stepping out. And Mogu Mogu stepping in for Chile. In Chile, they seemed so good on that DT convert earlier. So converts are definitely something Chile can contest. Will it be 4 breakpoints in a row?
And aside from that first pick by South Korea, breakpoints has been the name of the game so far in this matchup.
And Chile are desperately going to need another one here to keep South Korea from running away with it.
All players getting up to 100 relative ease. Not much to talk about as we're seeing a 6-way double S.
I was going to say, it's the first time we haven't seen a super early miss. And now everyone at that 200 combo mark, we are tied. 6 SS's still on the board into the spinners. This should break the tie, and it's advantage Chile off the spinner.
Order the map done, and all players still holding a double S. Other than that spinner, not really much to talk about in this pick.
Yeah, that's the only difference maker here. Oh, City Pop Shark is going to find the first miss. So now advantage South Korea. But we should note that if South Korea do trade a miss back, that Chile would have that spinner advantage. But so far, there are no misses from South Korea. Trip FC's Mogu Mogu.
City Pop Shark getting back up to 200 combo, but that miss from Mogu Mogu is going to keep South Korea racking up the score.
Yeah, now Chile need 2 misses from South Korea, and now there's a break. They can see the score. And it's about 60 to 70,000 right now. South Korea just looks so comfortable, though. Pekarat, though. Oh, Pekarat goes down. Right as I say that, just froze.
Followed with City Pop Shark. And we still see a triple full combo on the side of South Korea.
Yeah, it looks as if South Korea are going to convert this. QWH is going to be the first drop for Korea, though. But Chile are going to need much more to happen. As Hyper does go down.
City Pop Shark traded that drop by Hyper W, though. And there's not much left in
Oh, everyone's down except Pekkarat, who gets to 200, but it is not going to be enough. Oh, and Pekkarat does go down, and that is going to seal it. South Korea are going to take a 4-1 lead here.
And this is where Chile is going to start feeling that pressure. It's going to be their pick, and they're going to need to make it a good one.
Yeah, they are running out of options here, and that's why those earlier points that they just barely missed out on are going to be a huge factor going into this second half of the match. Because now South Korea are just 2 points away from victory, and there's not a lot of map pool left here that looks really comfortable for Chile.
Are we going to see the continuation with no mod picks, or is Chile going to break that cycle and change things up?
I think they have to at this point. Because if you get your pick broken here, it's match point South Korea with their pick. We may see a timeout. No, Chile will dive right into Hard Rock 2.
And that completely removes Hard Rock from the board, the last Hard Rock option being picked. They won the previous Hard Rock pick. Would they be able to squeeze out another point? Will South Korea be able to make it 5-1?
We will see Eldenel back in for Chile. South Korea still debating on their third. And will be Rels. So the rosters are set. Round number 6. In a match where only 2 points have been scored on their own picks.
Four to 1, but it's been a really close matchup. A couple points being decided right at the end of maps.
And just imagine if Chile had taken at least just one of those points. Be in a much better situation, but there's nothing they can do about it now as we go on to the 6th round.
Again, we see no players opting to choose that hidden modifier, just sticking with base Hard Rock.
QWH and City Pop Shark will both go down very early, so some early misses traded.
Oh, and City Pop Shark
struggling even further there. Just a few notes. QWH now back at 200, so South Korea with the advantage.
City Pop Shark getting back up to that 200 combo, stopping the bleeding for Chile. Looking to be about a 40,000
Eldenel goes down right as City Pop Shark recovers. And Rels will trade though. So that is going to keep Chile in it, but they're going to need some more help. Only a third of the way home on this one.
At this break point, South Korea, seeing that they are in the lead, Chile knowing they need a hold. But Eldenel and Rels are going to trade yet again, and the score is not going to change at all from those.
Yeah, that's basically going to affect nothing here. It's about 30k So a single miss at the halfway mark, and it has been so close between these teams. Eldonell goes down again. So now South Korea looking really good on this pick. Only a third of the way to go. They've got a little more than one miss lead.
As we see Rose got back up that 200 combo mark a little bit before the break. Eldonell slowly catching back up.
Unless we see a double miss here from South Korea near the ending, I think there's not much Chile is going to be able to do. But hey, we have seen crazy misses at the end in this match multiple times. Why not once more?
Ooh, and it's going to be City Pop, Shark, and Pekra, and Eldonell dropping.
And
that about seals the deal. That seals the deal on this pick. South Korea is going to make this a 5-1 match point.
Signed, sealed, delivered. South Korea 1 point away from going to the semifinals. Chile are going to need to dig deep as Hyper brings home another SS.
And not only is it match point in favor of South Korea, but it's also their pick, and they can control how they want to close out this match.
And both teams still have their timeouts. No timeouts have been called. I don't think we're going to see one called. Unless Chile go on a insane comeback. Which I would be down to see.
I would as well. So you gotta think about the mental toll that looking at a scoreline is going to be taking on Chile. Just a few points decided at the end of maps that really were the difference makers. If those weren't happening, then we could be looking at a total different match happening.
Yeah, those 2 points, those 2 maps where they missed at the very end, they go the way of Chile. It's a tie game right now. But sometimes the scoreboard does not tell the full story, and Korea will fire double time 2.
Korea got really close to losing to Chile with that last double time pick. Perhaps they believe that they have the edge against Chile now with double time, especially after seeing the scoreline.
And there are no substitutions either. And we see the commands coming in from the referee. It means the players are set and ready. There is the start command. So for Chile, it's now or never. They'll need 5 in a row or their winner's bracket run is over. Pecorette will tack on hidden for Chile.
And if there is a team to do it against South Korea, it will be Chile.
Chile, they have shown flashes of brilliance this match. Just unfortunately, a few key misses has really put this match nearly out of reach for them. But hey, we've seen a reverse sweep in this World Cup, so expect the unexpected as all players make it up to 200 combos safely. 6 SSs on the board as Rels finds the first drop for South Korea. Advantage Chile.
And as of right now, aside from that one drop by Rose, all other players holding on to a double S.
Still 2/3 of the map left to go, though, so Chile are a long way from home here on this point.
Rose back up to that 200 combo mark as we approach the halfway point.
Halfway, and it's still just a one miss game in favor of Chile. And now there's a break.
43,000 point difference in favor of Chile, and they know that.
Chile have looked fairly confident on double time today. They have been going stride for stride with South Korea in the double time department, and Eldena will find the first drop for Chile, so the earlier miss from Rails will be traded back, assuming nothing else goes wrong. Oh, Pekarat missed a bunch. City Pop's target's down, and Chile have melted down in the final quarter. Oh no. Mr. QWH.
But
it's not going to matter. Abstract and Rels still above 200 combo. And that is going to be how Chile exit the winner's bracket, unfortunately.
It's been the storyline all match, but just the ending portions of a few maps really decided the way on how this would go.
Flashes of brilliance from Chile, but South Korea with the consistency and with the dominance bring home the 6-1 win. They will be going to the semifinals to meet the winner of Russian Federation and the Philippines. Chile will be going to the losers bracket. They're not eliminated. And we will see them next week as Abstract gets that SS in the final map to close it out 6-1 for South Korea. An interesting match there, Elux.
Oh yeah, that was a match that really could have gone either way, and unfortunately for Chile, it just went the way of South Korea there. And it's, as you said, South Korea, the victors, are going to be facing the winners of Philippines versus Russia. Chile dropping down to losers. They are going to be facing the victors of the Canada-Taiwan matchup,
which is coming up soon. So you don't want to go anywhere because you got to find out who Chile is going to play. But here is a look at the bracket for the 2021 World Cup. Hong Kong victorious over China. They join South Korea now. 2 out of the 6 spots for finals week have been confirmed. And we will fill in the rest of that bracket over the course of the tournament. But we're going to go ahead and take a short break for now. And in approximately 45 minutes, we will get to Canada and Taiwan.
Ooh, that's going to be a matchup. Really strong teams right there.
In the losers bracket, so go big or go home. So we'll take a short break, and we will be back for Canada and Taiwan. In the meantime, go ahead and take a break, go to the bathroom, get you some CWC food, or perhaps buy a banner to support the tournament and, you know, just show off who you're rooting for in the World Cup and make your profile look awesome. $2.50 in the Osu store. Get 'em while they're hot.
事実は小説よりも奇なりですね。
I don't know who I will become, but I know what I want more than ever before. Outside, I'm gonna spend a longer I can feel the evolution. All my time no longer frozen. So maybe all the all. I don't know who I will become, but I know what I want more than ever before.
Hello. Welcome back from our break on OS 2021 Catch World Cup. I'm Elux, and currently with me right now is Trosk while we wait for Dolan, who is supposed to be showing up. So Trosk, what did you think of that matchup that we seen last go? Chile, South Korea.
I wish it would have been closer, but yeah, it definitely could have been a way closer match than it was. But yeah, hopefully this one will make more justice to how the match was.
Oh yeah, even though 6-1, there were a lot of points decided right at the end of a few picks. Just a couple heartbreaking drops on the side of Chile really decided that matchup, but we got Canada versus Taiwan coming up for you guys. The winner of this match is actually going to be facing Chile in the losers brackets, and unfortunately, the loser of this match will be sent home. Two really powerhouse teams going on the Canadian side. I'd argue one of their strongest rosters yet, and it just seems that almost every team sleeps on Taiwan, and we usually see them not necessarily getting knocked down to losers until around semis. So, pretty shocking to see them in losers already, but this is a match that I feel could go either way. I'm going to predict a 6-3, 6-4 favor on the side of Canada, though. We see Sicarian, Yoshi Green, Unlucky W, formerly known as Fast Yoshi, Fui, Henrik, and Had on the side of Canada. We have Bipu, ZX, Dodo Epi, Sanami, Eternity Moob, and XZ, not to be confused with ZX on the side of Taiwan. Little update on how they did last week. Canada versus United States was a pretty close matchup as far as score-wise go. Points makes it seem a little bit more one-sided than what it was. Canada unfortunately lost to the United States last week 6-3. Chile beat Taiwan lost to France in tiebreaker last week. France ended up winning that and moved on 6-5. And it appears that we are getting ready to get our rolls underway. Canada is going to be the first team to roll. Get your roll predictions in chat before they get sent out. Canada's gonna roll a 78, Taiwan is gonna roll a 62. That's gonna be my predictions. And while we have some downtime before rolls come out, banners, if you have not checked out the OS store for banners, we have some pretty nifty looking banners so far this year. Our fellow commentator Snow Leopard is the model. In case you want to check out how they look before you purchase them, you will be able to find his profile right there on the store page. Relatively cheap, only costing about $2.50 USD, so whatever country you're from, just easily convert that over. I have myself a nice United States one. It looks pretty good. In my opinion, they're looking a lot better than last year's. And it would appear that we are currently trying to get more players switched over for Canada. trying to get all players situated inside the lobby before we start up. Trying to locate where Unlucky W is. He appears to be currently not online. However, the Canadians are going to get the roll underway. Zakarian rolling an 11, and Bifu rolling a 99. That's about as night and day difference as you can get. So Taiwan are going to end up being the victors for this roll-off. Canada bans first, Taiwan is going to ban second and get the opportunity to pick first. And Canada is going to ban Pop Shove It, Hard Rock 3 Convert. Unfortunately, it appears that we are going to be seeing no skateboarding tricks from either team tonight or last match, as Taiwan answers back with banning Hidden 3. Two convert picks banned right away. Leaves only got me thinking Tsubaki and Resurrected Replayer as our convert maps left on the board. All others are specifics, and plenty of mod pools to go around. Taiwan giving this first pick a little thought. Wouldn't be surprised if we see them going with a Hard Rock pick just to see how strong Canada is, since they went ahead and banned Hard Rock. Ooh, but it's going to be the Giga Chad map reunion, No Mod 3, that they are going to pick. A lot of crazy slider patterns in this map. And currently joined with me now is going to be Sekre entering the commentating booth. How's it going, Sekre?
Hello. I saw you were having a bit of a good time all by yourself, so I decided, why not join you? You seem like you're having a fun time.
Oh yeah, it's a party over here, and you're making it just in time as we see Taiwan picking the Giga Chad map to start us off with this matchup. What would you say this match is going to be looking like? You guys ended up facing Canada back in round of 16.
We did, and Canada is also USA's biggest scrim partner, actually our only scrim partner. We play against them every week, except for last week, of course, because we had our match, but Canada is really strong, from what I've seen at least. So I'm expecting Canada to come out. They don't want to lose here. No shot they want to lose here. But Taiwan's going to give them a pretty big run for their money, I think.
Oh yeah, we've seen Taiwan appear to be slept on in previous tournaments. Surprised that both of these teams are actually in losers brackets.
Yeah, honestly, they had pretty strong opponents. Not the strongest of opponents, but still pretty strong in their regard. Anyways, this is a pretty interesting first pick, in my opinion, coming out from Taiwan, because Canada has several players who are really good at these kind of low AR tricky maps. So it kind of strikes me as a bit interesting to see that we're not going for something a little bit different.
As we see Unlucky W now joining the rest of the Canadian squad, as he is joined with Heinrich and Zakarian, Eternity Moon, Bifu, and Dodo Ebi on the side of Taiwan, as we're about to get round one, Canada versus Taiwan, underway. Relatively fast map, coming in at just a little under 2 minutes, approach rate of 8.8, circle size of 5, but the tricky sections are going to be those sliders, as we see Zakarian with an early miss that is going to give advantage Taiwan to start things off. That miss, however,
it's not going to be that punishing, just a little bit. Right at the 30 combo mark.
but Dodo Epi, that miss is going to be a lot more punishing as all other players getting up to that 200 combo mark. Zakarian with that early miss, joining the rest of his team at 200 combo. And there are the sliders. Unlucky W being the first victim to fall to them.
Oh yeah, I don't think we've seen a single team kind of get through these unscathed at this point. You know, these sliders gonna make you feel pain in so many ways that you never thought was possible before. See Henrik and Dodo every trading misses right there. See Canada coming out with a bit of a lead out in here. Not that much of a lead, maybe like half a miss at this point, you know. 100 combo miss.
Zakarian.
So very
gonna switch things up.
Yeah, uncharacteristic miss there, and kind of a really free combo part, but Bebo's gonna miss right at the start.
A triple miss on the side of Taiwan. Zakarian trading a couple of those, but combo advantage on the side of Canada as that score is starting to rack up. Eternity Mood dropping, and that is gonna keep the bleeding continuing for Taiwan as we see Dodo Epi and Bibu just now getting up to 200 combo.
Yeah, Unlucky W does drop his big combo there. He's going to drop again. It's not going to mean that much unless we see a lot more from the side of Zakarian and Henrik, though. Unlucky W is really not having a great time on these insiders. I don't blame them. They're not that fun to play in when you're playing this kind of stressful match, but it does seem like Zakarian and Henrik are going to keep out the combos, hold it together for the side of Canada, and that's going to be their first point, coming on a break point.
Oh yeah, relatively large score margin there just to start off our match. About 115, 116,000 victory for this first break point. However, it is now Canada's choice. And wonder what they're going to answer back with.
You know, knowing Canada, I feel like they're going to try to switch it up a little bit. I feel like they're going to go right to double time, go from the low ARE 0.8, and go straight to double time. Actually, wow.
Hidden
I did
one.
not expect that.
I did not either.
You know, maybe they're saying, alright, we beat USA on Hidden, we're the kings of Hidden now. We're going to go. Maybe that's what they're feeling. Going to see Zakarian stepping out on the side of Canada, bringing in the Hidden God, Fuhi. What is this? Have you ever seen Fuhi play Hidden Neelix?
I have not actually.
Oh,
Am I
boy,
in for a
this is gonna be
treat?
interesting. I think you might be. I am in for a treat too. I think everybody might be in for a treat if we see this. Still waiting for the last two members on the side of Taiwan as well.
Yeah, see Bipu opting to stay in there. Sanami popping in and out. Possibly just trying to get their position in the mat underway. And there he is, waiting on that third player on the side of Taiwan to come in. And it is going to be ZX, not to be confused with XZ, coming in, filling out that third slot for Taiwan. So it's going to be Unlucky W, Henrik, and Fui for Canada, Sanami, Bipu, and ZX for Taiwan. Taiwan looking to get a breakpoint of their own. However, Canada looking to not allow that to happen and try to gain control of this match. What do you think the scoreline is going to be?
Honestly, scoreline, if anything, I'm basing off of that first map. I think it might be like a 6-1, 6-2 in the favor of Canada. But they are my boys, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to say, do you think we're going to get the birthday FC from Fuhi on a hidden map?
Oh, we might. And what's this I hear about a birthday at full combo?
Oh, that would be pretty nice. It is his birthday. Everybody wish happy birthday to Fuhi. Anyways, this map is a bit different than the other hidden maps. This map kind of tends to be more favored towards non-hidden players than the other ones. Usually this is just a kind of skill cap map instead of a hidden map. So if you're really good at this kind of map, you're going to be really good at it regardless if you have hidden. So that's maybe why we see some of these players who not really are used to playing hidden, but might be just better for this map in general.
Got a couple early misses. Sonomy dropped within the first 5 combo, but unlucky W. That drop is going to hurt Canada more than that drop from Taiwan, but Taiwan, a triple drop.
Yeah, that part has been catching out people all day. I kind of don't know why, but it's a bit tricky, but not that much, but it's going to be a bit painful to come back from. But it is just the big outside of the map, and these guys, they know what they're doing. They can definitely come back from this at this point.
So you see ZX just struggling to get a foothold on this pick. Seen a few additional drops by him. Henrik Fui about that 200 combo mark. Bifu as well, as Sonomy is going to drop. Unlucky W getting up to 200 combo, and that score is going to continue growing in favor of Canada.
And I did have my doubts a little bit about this pick, but it seems like it is coming in pretty well, as we see 2 more misses on the side of Taiwan, while Canada is still holding strong with only that miss from Unlucky W in the beginning.
Slowly approaching that halfway point, and that
the hyper wiggle.
And
Yeah,
it would appear no birthday full combo for Fui, as he ends up dropping. Same with Unlucky W, Sonomy, and ZX. Bifu dropping as well. Henrik, the only one holding above a 200 combo right now.
Yeah, that score lap is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger as these combos are all small, except for Henrik's.
And ZX just not having a fun time with this pick, it appears, as he keeps finding more and more drops. And at this break point, Canada sees that they have a commanding lead against Taiwan in this pick, as Bifu catching up to Sonomy with that 200 combo mark. Trying to control the bleeding on the side of Taiwan a bit, but ZX just now getting up to 100 combo, but Henrik dropping. No more full combos on the board for any player.
Yeah, we also see a trade there from Lucky W and Sonomy. Taiwan actually has the combo advantage right here, but they need to catch up by about 240,000 points at this point. It's like maybe 30 seconds after the map. It's probably undoable. Most definitely undoable at this point, I'd say. Having some pretty nice combos at the end though, because this part is a bit harder than the other parts, and they're still holding, so it's pretty nice.
And the score difference is just too large for how little map left there is to play, and Canada is going to quickly make this a 2-0 match.
Yeah, they did surprisingly well, I'd say, on that pick. I guess it was good for them to pick that. Bit surprising to see Canada come in with, especially that roster, on a hidden pick as their first pick of the match. So good job to them.
Yeah, I was rooting for Fury to get that birthday full combo, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So performed really well though.
You're actually going to see a really fast pick here coming from Taiwan, going to Hard Rock 1 as soon as that map ended. Going really fast, and maybe they were thinking, you know, we got to try to catch them a little bit off guard here. Change it up as fast as we can, get them when they're not expecting it.
Oh yeah, this was a pick that I was expecting Taiwan to start out with. However, we're seeing it come in for the third pick of the match.
Yeah, I think this pick is a pretty decent pick for the side of Taiwan here. Hard Rock 1 kind of hits on to the things that Canada might not be the most reliable on. So it could work, could not work, we'll see.
Unlucky W, Henrik, and Fui still on the side of Canada. Sonomy, Bifu staying in. Dodo Epi coming in, replacing ZX.
You know, one thing that I'm actually really interested about here is Fuhi is staying in. I'm pretty sure Fuhi is one of Canada's main hard rock players. I don't think he's ever really had to go from playing hidden to hard rock in a tournament, like back to back, ever really, because he doesn't really play hidden. So seeing how he switches from hidden to hard rock without really having any time to get between the two, either he's going to do pretty well or he's not going to do well at all, which I hope he does well. Don't want to wish anyone to do bad ever, but could be possibly not a good time. We'll see. Depends on how experienced he is in switching up between mods that fast.
We see Yoshi Green coming in for Canada and XZ coming in for Taiwan, filling out those last-minute substitutions. Henrik, Yoshi Green, Fui wanting to make this a 3-0 match. Taiwan wanting to get on the board with this hard rock pick. And it's as you said, hard rock pick like this is more favorable to players of Taiwan's caliber. And it will be interesting to see how Fui adapts to this. Perhaps he might pick a hidden to follow up, but he will not. All players going with that base hard rock modifier.
Yeah, not that much of a surprise here that we're going to see everybody just go with base hard rock. This map has a few hard parts, especially with hidden, where the specific placement, especially in the intro, I feel like we're going to see at least one miss in the intro, maybe in the first 100 combo or so. Some of the parts are a little wonky, but not that wonky.
And with a map length of a little over 4 minutes, a miss or two in the beginning does not mean the end of the world for either side, as it is a jog, not a sprint.
Everybody does hit that intro pretty well. Usually you've seen misses in there, but as soon as I say that, Fuhi's going to find the first miss right about 160 combo. Kind of in the slow part, a little bit unexpected. He's probably saying, oh man, why'd I miss that?
And other than that drop, all 5 other players still holding on to a double S. And not much to talk about so far. But XC is going to drop as soon as Fui gets up to that 200 combo, maybe a little less. And that is what Canada needs to quickly start building points back in their favor.
Yeah, that miss is going to be a little bit more impactful, not that much more, but if all things go as they are now, Canada's going to come with a slight point advantage, maybe about 3,000 or 4,000 points, because the miss was slightly early on this side of Canada on Fui's side. But I don't think we're going to see everybody FC this map from this point on, because it's a pretty hard map. Getting all FCs from this point would be pretty impressive, honestly, and I wouldn't expect that from any team, really.
And aside from those 1 or 2 misses as we're approaching the halfway point, Canada with the slight score advantage. Yoshi Green, Henrik still holding on to a double S. Sanami and Dodo Epi still holding on to a full combo on the side of Taiwan.
Yeah, something that's very interesting. Oh, I was going to say that we were close on the scores, where XXC does find another miss right there. Missed a few notes, so it might be a little bit more than just a singular miss, but not that much more. But we're going to need to see a miss on the side of Canada to be able to even things out at this point.
And there is a miss. Yoshi Green dropping.
But it is traded right back with Sanami on that stream section.
And Dodo Epi is going to drop. No more full combos on the side of Taiwan as Canada, Heinrich, the lone full combo and double S left on the board. And a pick that you would think would be slightly in favor of Taiwan, as we see a double miss from Sanami and Dodo Epi.
It's also traded by Henrik too. Yeah.
Is going in Canada's favor.
Canada has about a 100,000 point advantage here. We're gonna need to see probably a triple miss very soon, I think, to start climbing back on that score gap.
And if it's gonna happen, it needs to happen now while all of Taiwan's players are above 200 combo. But Yoshi Green, Fui holding strong, Henrik back above that 200 combo mark. And it does not appear it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it does seem like Fuhi actually adapted to Hard Rock from Hidden pretty well. He's doing probably the best in the lobby, I think, right now. Yeah, if not, it's tied to Hendrick right now with the score. Only slacking in the sprinters, I think. Yeah. So good job. Taiwan actually did pretty well there, getting 3.2 million on a Hard Rock pick. It's not even that bad. It's just that Canada said, hey, we're going to do really good here. We're going to all one miss.
And just like that, it's 3-0 in favor of Canada with their pick, and Taiwan is needing to answer back fast, otherwise this match is going to start going further and further away. And you gotta wonder, after seeing a Hard Rock performance like that, will Canada answer back with another Hard Rock pick?
It's definitely possible, but I feel like they might try to change it up just a little bit, not too much. I could see them going for possibly something like DT1 just to maybe see how it goes, you know, test out the DT pool. If they're feeling really good, they could definitely go for DT1 and try to go for the limit test map, see how good they can actually do in a match like this.
Yeah, as we see, they're taking a little bit of time to come up with that pick. Ooh, they're gonna go hidden too.
Yeah, they're just sticking with the hidden, it seems.
No more hidden picks left on the board. That is gonna close out that mod pool. Hidden 2, him, mapped by Gemsu, coming in at just under 2.5 minutes.
You know, I was kind of hoping we would get to see Fuhi on this hidden map as well. That would have been a treat.
He already blessed us with his presence on one hidden map, as we see his Zakarian coming in.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary there. Zakarian stepping in for hidden. Gonna see who's gonna be that final member on side of Taiwan.
And it's going to be ZX. And so far, I'm a bit proud of myself. I have not mixed up XZ and ZX's names yet.
You know, you just jinxed yourself right there by saying that. I'm sorry. You're gonna do it now, and you're gonna feel so bad about it.
Don't wish that black magic on me, Sekre.
You just wish it upon yourself.
The start command is in. The good lucks are in the chat. Henrik, Yoshi Green, Sakarian wanting to make this a 4-0 match. Sanami, Bipu, and ZX wanting to get a point on the board for their team.
Yeah, and I think honestly, if there's any map that Taiwan can take as a breakpoint from Canada, it's this one. This map has a lot of variance in how you can get the score. You can either get like a 950k, you could even get like a 700k. You know, you could either do really good, really bad, and maybe Canada would do really bad, maybe Taiwan would do really good. It's kind of like a bit of a toss-up at that point. More so based on consistency, but of course, there is a lot of variance in this map compared to other maps, I'd say.
And as the map starting to pick up pace, no players getting caught out in that beginning slow section. But Sakarian on the wiggles is going to drop as everybody else gets up to 200 combo, but Sanami is going to trade it.
Yeah, this intro is usually where a lot of the combos are built. You're going to see the first really hard part at about 300, minus stack into a hyper dash, but we do see Beepo missing right before it. Everybody actually hits the hard part that I was thinking about. I guess I'm just not that great at the map compared to everyone else in here, but do see Sanemi and Beepo missing a little bit more after traded by Henrik.
And Taiwan just not having a fun time with this pick as there are misses all over the board. Sakari and Yoshi Green holding strong for Canada, and Henrik building combo up fast. And that score margin is greatly in favor on the side of Canada and is continuing to grow right now.
Oh yeah, we do see Yoshi Green breaking that full combo right on these wiggles. These wiggles are really painful, especially if you're not used to hitting. We do see the side of Taiwan all missing on these wiggles. It's not even nothing to feel bad about because those wiggles are really painful. It's just actually amazing that Canada actually all hit them. That's actually really impressive, I'd say.
And Taiwan's gonna need an absolute miracle to come back in this map. Sakarian dropping, but Sanemi is gonna trade it. And that score margin is continuing to grow.
Yeah, ZX and Beeper are finding their way to that 200 combo mark, but it's just not enough at this point. We do have bigger combos on the side of Canada, but map's over already. It's a pretty fast one, only 2 minutes and a half.
And that is a statement win right there. A commanding victory on that pick for Canada. 645,000 points between the two teams. And if you're Taiwan, the only thing that you gotta be thinking about is, thank goodness there are no hidden maps left to pick.
Honestly, yeah, if there's any saving grace, that is one. You know, you gotta think, what are they gonna go for now? I'm pretty sure they lost on the Hard Rock, lost on Hidden. What else do you think they can go here, Elux?
Nomad, go on the safer Nomad picks, try and get a point on the board with those.
Could do that. Either that or possibly go for double time. But then again, Canada has shown in earlier stages that they were actually picking double time, I believe, in group stage. So it's also really rough to pick double time against a team that's picked it before.
Now all three double time maps left untouched so far in this matchup. Ooh, and it's gonna be Taiwan choosing double time 1. And that is a curveball if I've ever seen one.
Oh yeah, this is probably the hardest map of the pool by far, which is a bit surprising to see it coming out from Taiwan. Maybe they're like, okay, you know what, we're just going for it, because anything can really happen on this map. This map is wild.
Oh yeah, I like to call this map the specific that plays slightly like a convert. A lot of really interesting spacing on this one. Approach rate of 8, circle size of 5, so slower of the double time picks, but by no means the easier one. We see mapped by Rakma, notorious for making challenging maps. So Sekre, what do you think about Taiwan being the team to pick this?
You know, it's a bit surprising, but I could definitely see it coming out, you know, as like sort of a last-ditch effort, you know. Why not just try it out, see how it goes? They could do really bad on it for all we know. Side of Canada, maybe Taiwan's banking on that. They don't do that great on it, and maybe they can get some pretty lucky runs out, get some good scores.
Had coming in for Canada is Henrik Sakarian, staying in Sanami, Dodoebi, and XZ. And for Taiwan, will Taiwan be able to find an answer against this really strong Canadian roster, or will Canada force it to match point?
The thing about this map is it has a lot of the far jumps at like the 200 combo mark, and if you hit those, you're kind of looking pretty well, because this map doesn't have that big of a combo, even though it is 3 minutes long. Combo is really short compared to most of the maps in the pool. So if you miss, it's going to be a bit more punishing than other maps at this length. Obviously because the score starts going up to 200 combo and then it starts flatlining at that point. So if you can get a nice combo up in the 400s, you're looking pretty good on this map, I'd say.
Round 5, Canada versus Taiwan. If Taiwan cannot answer with this pick, we may very well be looking at a clean sweep.
Everybody's starting out relatively decently. Everybody hit that first wheel. Sometimes you see some people miss up on that first wheel. We are going to see Sanami and Dodoebi missing on the slow sliders. A bit unexpected. Here comes the very far jumps. We're going to see Had being the first victim to the far jumps. Followed
Sanami, XC, Sakarian, and Had all dropping at the same point. Henrik dropping, and now it is combo advantage very slightly in favor of Taiwan.
Yeah, it's actually going to be, I think, enough to bring it back here with the combo, especially with Henrik missing right there on that little repeat slider. And then jump right after it. So this is going to be actually on the side of Taiwan advantage right here.
Yeah, Dodoebi holding on to that 200 combo. Sakarian dropping right before he gets up to that 200 combo mark. Sanami, XC dropping. Followed with Dodoebi.
Yeah, but they still got a pretty big lead, but Sanami finding that another miss is going to give the
Henrik
combo.
drops.
Oh. And Henrik not even spinning there.
Had right now
Bad
the
for him.
saving grace for Canada, holding above that 200 combo mark as we see Henrik dropping. Sakarian getting up to 200 combo.
Yeah, Had holding this combo is really huge for the side of Canada right here.
Sakarian dropping. Had drops, and that is huge for Taiwan at the very end.
There it is.
Ooh, Taiwan steals a point when it just looked like Canada was about to win at the very end of the pick.
Yeah, pretty decent scores all on the side of Taiwan. 2 miss, 3 miss, and 4 miss. Very decent. Very, very good. Think they're gonna be able to get a few more Elux? I think they can.
I think so too. It's possible, and this is definitely a morale boost for Taiwan. If they ever needed one, it needed to be there, as
Yeah,
they
definitely.
prevented match point. So it is Canada's pick.
They don't have a hidden pick to fall back on here either.
Mm-mm.
Nothing to really change up the pace of the match. All these rest of the maps are going to be kind of similar to Double Time. Not that similar, obviously, but it's not going to be as big of a swing as going from Double Time to hidden.
Oh yeah, because you have Hard Rock 2, which is really fast paced and matches about the same pacing as a Double Time map, and then you have no mods left on the board. Ooh, Sakarian wanting a timeout. So that time will be added on after the first 2 minutes to pick their map is done. So not surprised Canada taking timeout right here.
Yeah, might as well take the timeout while you have the chance to, you know? Just lost their first point, so they might want to try to get it all together before they go into the rest of the match.
Yeah, because losing 1 point, not the end of the world, but if you rush into things too much, it can start adding up and create a snowball effect. Wouldn't be surprised if we do see them go with that Hard Rock pick. They did win Hard Rock 1. What?
Could be the answer. I also could see something like possibly even Nomad 4 here coming from the side of Canada.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be too deterred from double time. But as you said before, Canada was picking double time quite often earlier stages of this tournament, and them losing the first double time pick of the match might deter them. And it will, as they're going to go with Nomad 2. Back-to-back Rockmo maps being picked.
Yeah, this one's a bit more expected, but not really the most expected map, I'd say. It's kind of like the middle ground of, yeah, we could be comfortable on this, and the middle ground of like, yeah, we don't really want to pick this, but I guess we could pick it, see how it goes. Maybe they're picking it because they think Taiwan is not the best on it. Who knows? But Canada, they do have definitely a roster that can play this kind of map, play pretty well. Same thing with Taiwan.
Coming in at a little under 2 minutes. It's going to be a fast-paced map indeed. Yoshi Green, Unlucky W on the side of Canada. Dodo Ebi, Sanami, Bibu on the side of Taiwan. And Henrik is going to be filling out that third slot for Canada. But we've seen some consistency picks coming from these two teams, some not so consistent picks, and this is one of those shorter maps. A miss or two in the beginning could mean the difference with how short it is.
Yeah, this map has quite a bit harder second half than first half, I'd say. Second half is, in my opinion, much harder than the first half. You're not going to see many misses in the first half, but the second half you're going to see quite a few misses on probably the horizontal for those streams.
Unlucky W, Yoshi Green, and Henrik wanting to force match point. Taiwan, Dodo Ebi, Sanami, Bifu wanting to stay alive here, wanting to get a break point. And the start command is in. Good lucks, have funs are in the chat. And we're about to get round 6 underway. Chrono Diver.
Yeah, a bit interesting that we're not seeing Zerkarian on the side of Canada. They had Zerkarian instead of Yoshi Green on the last Nomad pick. So usually Zerkarian does play these Nomad maps for the side of Canada, but I guess they're feeling a little bit spicy this time, bringing in Yoshi Green.
All players getting up to 100 combo with relative ease, not much to talk about, but a miss by Unlucky W is going to swing things in favor of Taiwan early on as everybody else gets up to 200 combo.
Yeah, the thing about that miss though is it is before the 200 combo mark, so it's not going to mean as much as a miss would be from now on. But everybody does seem to be navigating these wiggles quite well so far.
Approaching the halfway point as we see Bifu dropping, and that miss is going to be favorable for Canada, as we're going to see the scores start slowly going into their favor.
Yep, and we're going to get right into this 4-note horizontal stream section right after this little part right here. This is where you see most of the misses coming in. Everybody's still holding pretty strong on this part so far.
But Dodo Ebi and Bipu are going to be dropping on the side of Taiwan. Followed Rasanami, Yoshi Green, Henrik Unlucky W holding strong for Canada, building that score up.
Henrik drop. Gonna need to see at least 1 or 2 more misses in this very last section of the map for Taiwan to be able to wing it back here. It's definitely possible still. But everybody's not missing. Nobody's missing at this point. Everybody kind of got used to this section as they played it a bit more. And that's going to be another point for Canada going on to match point.
And with everybody dropping around him, Unlucky W with the 1 miss, holding through that entire second half.
Yeah, a little nice reverse choke there. Usually you don't miss in the intro of the map on this one in particular.
5-1 match point. It is Taiwan's pick, though.
Think they go right back to double time?
Possibly.
I mean, it is what they want to point on. The other 2 double time maps are quite a bit easier than the first one, I'd say. So maybe it's not going to work out as well. I can definitely see them picking possibly something like DT3.
Yeah, if they were to go the double time route, that's what I would place my money on, is them choosing double time 3. Taiwan taking a little bit of time with this pick, and I do not blame them. Oh, there it is. Double time 3. No surprise there. Sticking with double time, they won a point off of it, so why fix something that so far is not broken?
Gotta hope it doesn't break, because this is relying on their CWC time for this year. Remember, loser of this match is eliminated, as it is loser's bracket, sadly.
And this is do or die for Taiwan right now. And they're going to need to be pulling out everything that they have on this pick if they want to stay in.
We do Caesar carrying coming in the side of Canada, as well as XXZ on the side of Taiwan. 2 replacements. Maybe see 1 more replacement on the side of Canada at the last second. There it is. Had's come in.
Barring any last minute substitutions, it is going to be Unlucky W, Zakarian, and Had wanting to close this match out. Sanami, Dodo Ebi, and XZ wanting to keep their team in it. And if there is a map to keep Taiwan in this matchup, it will be double time 3.
Oh yeah, the hard part after this though is how do you get back those last 4 points even if you do win this? There's still so many more maps, and you're not going to be able to pick all of them. You only have 2 more picks left even if you keep winning. So that's going to be the really hard part of this comeback, is seeing how many points they can get, how many break points they can get off the side of Canada.
Oh yeah.
And even if you go all that way, you still got the tiebreaker. Man, I don't think we have seen a tiebreaker yet. It's definitely not. So
not yet.
It'd be exciting, but it is quite a far away. It's away, so shouldn't be really thinking about it, but you can always have a dream.
A TB dream indeed, as we see no players opting to choose that hidden modifier, all sticking with base double time, and here we go. Round 7, double time 3, resurrected 3-player. Will Taiwan be able to keep their CWC dreams alive, or will Canada get the 6-1 victory?
Everybody holding that SS right in the beginning. Very easy beginning, very calm. Calm before the storm, pretty much.
Players getting up to 200 combo with these, still holding that double S. But Unlucky W is going to be the first one to drop. Score is going to start building up in favor of Taiwan right now.
You know, he did do the same thing in the last map where he missed in the intro and then FC the rest of the map. So we could still see him coming back and setting a nice score after that singular miss in the intro. Taiwan still holding strong, triple SS.
Unlucky W getting up to 200 combo, stopping the bleeding. Looking like it's going to be about 30-ish thousand difference as Sonomy and Unlucky trade misses there. So the score's not going to change much at all. And other than those two players, we're still seeing a 4-way double S right now.
Yeah, no misses yet in the slow part. Slow part can be a little bit nerving because it's just a bunch of tiny micro movements.
Sonomy, Unlucky W back up to 200 combo. And as we're approaching the last quarter of the map, Dodo Ebby drops, and that might be the difference maker.
Yeah, definitely could be, but I think Taiwan might have had just a slightly better spin. I was trying to think about who did better by looking at their scores. It was pretty close.
Sonomy drops, though.
Spins don't matter if you keep missing, though. That's unfortunate.
This map is getting closer and closer to the end, and unless we see a triple miss on the side of Canada, Taiwan is going to be getting sent home.
Yeah, the center of the map is pretty dense. Oh, we do see a double miss.
It's going to be close.
Oh,
At the last minute,
there it is.
Taiwan at the last minute keeps their CWC hopes alive. Carrying an Unlucky W, just dropping at the end. Talk about a lucky break for Taiwan right there.
Dude, Taiwan was like, oh, we got this. We got this. As long as they keep holding, they're going to get it. And hey, they got that point. Now they just got to get 3 more and the tiebreaker. Still doable, honestly. But very nice score. SS from XXXC and had good scores, good scores. That was a pretty last second comeback, too. I believe that was like in the last, 50 combo, probably? Something close to that.
Something like that, though we have been, this match and last match, we have been seeing points being decided at the very end. But Taiwan still holding on, but it is Canada's pick now. And after losing 2 double time maps, you gotta think they're probably not planning on going with DT2.
Oh yeah, probably not at this point. It's probably going to be something like Nomad 5, I'd say, from the side of Canada at this point. Either that or the Hard Rock 2. Hard Rock 2 still being available. You know, I'm also pretty sure that Canada, they have used their timeout, but Taiwan still has theirs, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember it being used earlier, do you?
No, I do believe they still have theirs. Hard Rock 2, Double Time 2, or any of the 3 no mods left, and it's gonna be Hard Rock 2. Night of Nights coming in.
Been kind of waiting for this last Hard Rock pick to get picked up, because Canada did win the other Hard Rocks, or the other Hard Rock, I should say. The other one was banned. And it was pretty convincing, I'd say. It was not that convincing, but close enough to the point where you can say, okay, Canada's got a slight edge on Hard Rock.
Oh yeah. We see at least one substitution, Bowie coming in for Canada, Unlucky W and Had staying in, Dodo Epi, Sonomy, and XZ staying in for Taiwan. Comeback, not impossible, still looking improbable though, but anything can happen. Seeing unlucky W dropping out, Henrik coming in, so another substitution on the side of Canada. Does not appear there are going to be any, though, for Taiwan.
Yeah, Taiwan seems to be sticking with this roster that's been doing pretty well on these double time picks, trying to transfer it over to the Hard Rock.
And the start command is in. Will Taiwan be able to get another point? Or will Canada be able to seal the match? Round 8, Hard Rock 2, Night of Nights. Just waiting for the client to catch up with everybody. And there it is.
Yeah, I'm going to be expecting maybe a few early misses in this 100 slider section coming up right here. We do see the first one coming in from Sanami. Section very, very painful for some players. Depends on how you play. Seems like we're only going to be seeing the singular miss from Sanami on that section though.
All other players getting up to 200 combo. Sanami close behind though. XZ though is going to be dropping, and that is going to be a more crucial miss as we're going to start seeing the score build up more for the side of the Canadians. XZ getting up to 200 combo, stopping the bleeding as soon as Henrik drops. And had. And just like that, as we're approaching the first break mark in the map, Taiwan, seeing that 2 of the 3 Canadian players have missed. And they're not out at this point yet.
There's a far jump right there. We do see 3 misses on there. See Sanami and XZ still holding that combo. That's going to be a lot of points getting gained right here very fast. Nobody on the side of Canada has over 100 combo. Had just getting there right now.
Yeah, map is halfway done and Taiwan building up score fast. Had getting up to 200 combo, stop the bleeding. The rest of his team and Dodo Epi close behind. Second break mark of the map, and Taiwan see that they have the lead by about 36,000 points right now.
Yeah, it is quite a sizable lead. That's definitely more than 1 miss, I believe. That's about 2 misses in this map, so I think I have a little bit of wiggle room to go with. Descending can be a little bit painful though. Definitely get some misses on these awkward doubles.
And Fui is going to drop, and that is huge for Taiwan as that score advantage is going to continue growing in their favor.
Do you see Sanami and Ecstasy breaking there though? Could be a little bit too soon to get excited for the side of Canada though. There is closing very fast.
And we're going to start seeing the score flicker over in favor of the Canadians. Henrik dropped, but XP dropped, and Dodo Ebi at the end, and that is going to seal the deal. That drop from Henrik could have propelled Taiwan back into this match, but unfortunately Dodo Ebi and XZ dropping right at the very end there, and Canada is going to make this a 6-2 match, their victory.
Yeah, that was actually really close there. We had several times where the kind of bar at the bottom swung between both teams. It could have gone, honestly, either way. There was just a few misses at the very end of the map that kind of sealed the fate there. Anyways, well played to Canada, well played to Taiwan. That is going to be the end for Taiwan in this World Cup, though. Canada going to be moving on in the losers bracket. Play one more match at least.
Yeah, they are going to be facing Chile, and that's going to be a matchup I want to see.
Oh yeah, rematch from group stage. Gotta love it. Those two teams played each other in the group stage. Chile did get the better of them in the tiebreaker though, and Canada is going to be coming back with a vengeance.
And that is going to be a matchup that you are not going to want to miss. They're your winners, the Canadians. Here's our bracket for the rest of the tournament. We see that the United States, France still have yet to play, followed with Philippines, Russia, Australia, and Germany all having to play yet. Some really good matches still have yet to be had. However, you do see right there Australia, Germany, 7 hours until that match happens. And as much as I want to root for our fellow commentator Quijibo, I'm gonna have to give it to Germany on this one.
Honestly, I voted for Australia to win this pretty handily. I think I had 6-2 Australia, so I can definitely see some spicy stuff coming out from the side of the Australians.
Yeah, I'm gonna predict a 6-3 in favor of Germany on that one. But 3 more matches left to be played, and you're not gonna be wanting to miss those. Some really good matchups, and if you haven't yet, swing by the Oz store, pick up a banner, root for your favorite country, whoever you want to win. They're relatively cheap. I myself am proud owner of a United States banner. It looks pretty fancy on your profile there.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. One of the best looking banners, if I do say so myself. Totally not sellout.
You know, no United States bias there at all, I assume.
Definitely not.
With that being said, we will see you in 7 hours from now. Have a good night and take care.
Suddenly the deepness can get through.